Hi everyone, we're going to discuss an equation using a rotation of axis, and we're going to go ahead and graph it as well. We already did rotation formulas, but we're going to go ahead and do that here. And the first thing we know is that cotan of 2 theta equals A minus C over B. So this is your A minus C, which is 1 here, over your B, which is negative 4. And this is going to yield negative 3/4. So this is cotan of 2 theta. So cosine of 2 theta is going to be negative 3/5. We learned that in trigonometry because our triples are 3, 4, 5. This is x over y, and this is x over r, and r is your 5. All right, so from that, we're going to use our half angles of sine of theta equals the square root 1 minus cosine of 2 theta over 2. And then the cosine 1, I'll move it over here. Cosine of theta equals square root of 1 plus cosine of 2 theta over 2. That's why we got the cosine of 2 theta. And you just plug it in. So we get, I'm going to move it over a little, square root of, erase that, 1 minus a negative 3/5 over 2, which equals, I'm going to go ahead and write this as 5. This right here is 5 over 5. 5 over 5 plus 3 over 5 over 2, which gives us the square root of 8 over 10, which equals square root of 4 over 5, which equals 2 over square root of 5, which equals 2 square root of 5 over 5. So we're going to remember that. And for this one, it's the same thing, but we're changing this to a negative. So I'm going to go ahead and just plug that in. It's going to be 5 over 5 minus 3 over 5 over 2. So this is going to equal 2 over 10, which equals the square root of 1 over 5, which equals the square root of 5 over 5. Then we use our rotation of axis formulas, and we get x equals, and I'm going to go a little faster on this because we already did these. X is going to be square root of, let me just write it out, x prime cosine of theta minus y prime sine of theta, which is going to be square root of 5 over 5 x prime minus 2 square root of 5 y prime. Oops. Trying to go too fast. Alright, so that's your x, and your y is going to be sine of theta plus y prime cosine of theta. So you just switch these around, and you get 2 square root of 5 over 5 x prime plus square root of 5 over 5 y prime. Now we're going to go ahead and simplify this because we're going to have to input this in the formulas. So we're going to get, I'm going to pull out a square root of 5 over 5. You get x prime minus 2y prime. And this is going to be same thing, but you get 2x prime plus y prime. Okay, so now we know what x and y is, and now we're going to actually eliminate the x and y. So we're going to plug in our formula, and our formula again was 4x squared minus 4xy plus y squared plus y square root of 5x plus 5 equals 0. And I'm going to go ahead and move the 5 over. Because remember, these are conics, so I'm going to go ahead and move that 5 over, negative 5. Now I'm just going to plug in my x and y from here, which here's my x and here's my y. All right, we're going to plug that in. So we get 4 times the square root of 5 over 5 times x prime minus 2y prime squared minus 4 times square root of 5 over 5 x prime minus 2y prime times the y, which is square root of 5 over 5 times 2x prime plus y prime. And then we're going to finish up with this part, plus square root of 5 over 5. And we're doing this part now. Square root of 5 over 5, 2x prime plus y prime, and then the last part, this part. This will be plus 5 square root of 5 times square root of 5 over 5, x prime minus 2y prime. And this equals negative 5. All right, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply both sides by 5. And also expand, so that means I'm going to expand this out. So basically I want to show you something real quick. When you square this and then multiply by 5, what we get is 5 times 5 over 25, which equals 25 over 25, which equals 1. So when I'm going to multiply through by 5, it's actually going to eliminate this whole thing here. All right, and then and the same thing here, because that's the same thing as being squared. This is going to be a little different, and we get negative 5. So that's why we're multiplying through by 5, and it's going to be a lot easier. So I'm getting rid of this part right in here. Let me do it in purple. By multiplying through by 5. Okay? And this will be, what will this be? When I multiply through by 5, I'll get basically 25. So anyway, I just wanted to tell you that before we move on, so you know why that's missing. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to get 4, and I'm squaring all this out too. X prime squared minus 4x prime y prime plus 4y prime squared minus 4 times 2x prime squared minus 3x prime y prime minus 2y prime squared. Okay? Plus 4x squared plus 4x prime y prime plus y squared plus 25 x prime minus 2. Remember I told you that was 25 minus 2y prime equals negative 25. Now, what you need to do is distribute all this and cancel things out. And when you do that, and I already did that, but when you do all that, because it's just going to get confusing here, you're going to get this. You're going to get 25 y prime squared minus 50 y prime y, no, just y prime, plus 25 x prime equals negative 25. Now I'm going to divide everything by negative 25, or just 25, and you get y prime squared minus 2y prime plus x prime equals -1. And then I'm going to move the 1 over to the left and the x to the right. We can see this is a parabola. So we have x prime squared minus 2y prime. I'm going to add the 1. So I'm adding the 1 here. And then I'm going to subtract the x. This is a perfect square trinomial, so I get y minus 1 prime, squared equals -x prime. So that's a parabola with the center at 0, or the vertex at 0, 1 in the x prime, y prime plane. Also, to get my angle on this one, we're just going to solve. You can solve for, we're going to just say sine of theta equals 2 square root of 5 over 5. And you do the inverse, you get that theta is approximately 63.4 degrees. And then when we graph this, this is what it's going to be like. So this is your y, this is your x. We're going to shift this up 63 degrees, and I'm just estimating here, but I'm going to rotate up. So this x is rotating up by 63 degrees. So this is your x prime. And the y is also shifting over 63 degrees. So, well, that's not, doesn't look like 63. It looks like 45. All right, so let me make it down a little more. This is your y prime. And now this is just a sketch, but my vertex is at 0, 4, 1. So basically 0, 1 on the axis here would be approximately here. And then this is 63 degrees, or 63.4 degrees, sorry. And then it's going through here somewhere, and there is your parabola. Okay, that got rotated down. All right, that's just a little introduction. We're going to do some more of these, and we'll graph ellipses, circles, and everything. Okay, thank you, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.